Inhale, exhale, and hold your breath by pinching your nose. This is called the Bohl score test. Stop whenever you feel the first definite desire to breathe or the first involuntary contraction of the diaphragm or in the neck muscles. Your breathing should be normal after the breath hold. If it isn't, you went too far. If you last less than 10 seconds, you have a severe overreaction to carbon dioxide. This isn't good. If you have a score higher than 25 seconds, your breathing might be normal. A person with a Bohl score of 40 seconds and above can swim calmly even if they don't have a great swimming technique. 66% of you told us that you feel shortness of breath before your muscles feel very tired. This shortness of breath occurs when the blood becomes more acidic. The body's response to reduce acidity is to get rid of carbon dioxide by breathing more often and with more volume. And I don't need to tell you, this feeling is stressful. We can survive for weeks without food, for days without water or sleep, but without breathing, we can only survive a few minutes. Our body knows that breathing is priority number one. It affects almost all functions of the body and mind. Our bodies think that swimming is very high risk because we don't have access to immediate breathing. The feeling of wanting to breathe a lot is the way in which our body forces us to always have enough oxygen. The problem with hyperventilation is that while it increases the oxygen level in the blood, it decreases the oxygen levels in the muscles and brain. As we said, breathing a lot reduces carbon dioxide. With too little carbon dioxide in the blood vessels constrict and red blood cells retain oxygen instead of delivering it to the brain and muscles. This discovery was called the Bohr Effect. On this video, we will go over the 3 best exercises you can do to increase your CO2 tolerance. These were the hardest 25 meters of my life. I trained for more than 3 months specifically to be able to finish it. If one day you manage to do it too, it will mean that you're a better swimmer. Don't try it before listening to the security measures later on this video. Unless you have excellent CO2 tolerance or you know the exercises, you will need a few months to be able to complete this test. The E25 test is based on the teachings of Olympic athletes breathing coach Patrick Mckeon. It consists of exhaling completely before starting the swim. Swim 25 meters without breathing. The challenge ends 10 seconds after touching the wall. Only nose breathing is allowed during those 10 seconds after the swim. We will go over the security measures of the 3 exercises. But keep in mind that these exercises are not comfortable, especially the first 2 weeks. Respiratory fitness is clearly important in helping you swim faster and with less effort. That's why professional swimmers experiment with breathing exercises all the time. It's part of their training. The most obvious example is Dressel holding his breath in the last 10 to 15 meters before winning Olympic gold medals and breaking world records. Many of the winners of great swimming competitions do not seem breathless after they finish. This is because they have developed a high tolerance for CO2 and because their body is adapted to be more efficient at using oxygen. If you want to do the same effort in the water, but without feeling shortness of breath, the 3 exercises are important, but especially the second one. Before trying breathing exercises, we need to answer the question that many people will have. How dangerous is this? As it happens, A-Aron is getting certified as a breathing coach with Patrick Mckeon's Oxygen Advantage program. He has been training Denis to be able to do the E25. Denis is worried about holding her breath. Her cousin died in the pool years ago playing breath hold games. The body has 3 ways of preventing you from drowning. The first is when it detects high levels of CO2. The chemoreceptors send an alarm signal that makes you want to breathe. If it doesn't work, it goes to the second option. It makes the breathing muscles spasm in order to force the breath. If that doesn't work, which it rarely doesn't, your body will continue to consume oxygen to the point of blackout. Then it can start breathing unconsciously without you stopping it. Shallow water blackouts happen when you prevent those 3 solutions from happening. The worst and most dangerous thing you can do is to hyperventilate before holding your breath underwater. You should never do this for 2 reasons. One is that because you lower your carbon dioxide levels, your brain won't perceive the danger until it's too late. The other is that hyperventilation also reduces circulation and oxygenation to the brain. This will cause you to lose consciousness without warning. And since you're underwater, if you pass out, your body would automatically start inhaling water. A-Aron tells Denis that there are always risks, but statistically it is more dangerous to not have the slightest tolerance to increased CO2. Having no tolerance to CO2 makes exercise more difficult, increases the rate and volume of breathing, and increases the chances of chronic stress. Not having tolerance to CO2 increases obesity, stress, and insomnia. Those three things kill far more modern humans than shallow water blackouts. But we don't want shallow water blackouts either. To minimize the risk, there are 3 golden rules for breath hold training underwater. People who are pregnant or have respiratory or heart problems should avoid strong breath holds, but can still practice very light holds and enjoy swimming and its many benefits. Never hyperventilate before holding your breath underwater. Always do breathing exercises with permission of a certified lifeguard. To make it even safer during the exercises, we will never hold our breath beyond the body's second warning, the diaphragm and neck spasms. In fact, after holding your breath, you should always be able to breathe comfortably through your nose. It is more important to increase your CO2 tolerance gradually and steadily than to push it too hard during these exercises. If your bolt score is lower than 10 seconds, you should do the exercises shown in our past video instead of this one. The first exercise is to build up to the E25. Exhale and swim until you feel slight discomfort. Note that swimming without air is much more difficult than with your lungs full. Stop when you feel the need to breathe. Try to breathe through your nose from the first inhalation. In order to keep the water that drains from your face out of your nose, it is necessary to inhale very slowly. In my experience, I increase my tolerance by a meter each week, feeling calm after each attempt. Results will vary from person to person. The goal is to do an exhale 25, E25. The second exercise is called nasal 25s. It consists of swimming 25 meters of fast freestyle at 80 to 90% of your maximum speed, resting only 10 nasal breaths before starting the next 25. The exercise ends when you can no longer breathe through your nose, when you slow down significantly, or if you have to rest for more than 10 nasal breaths. While swimming, of course, you should breathe through your mouth. This is probably the most difficult and important exercise. This time, I only lasted 4 25s. I plan to keep increasing the number of nasal 25s and make another video with better results. But why is this exercise so important? Breathing through the nose reduces airflow by about 50%. But isn't that a bad thing? Denis asked. Not really, explains A-Aron. Nose breathing has 4 benefits. Number 1, nitric oxide. The nasal cavities constantly release nitric oxide. When you breathe in through the nose, you bring it down into your lungs. Nitric oxide redistributes blood through the lungs, opens the airways, and sterilizes incoming air. Nitric oxide is a good thing and is mainly found in the nose. Number 2, it increases CO2 in the blood. This allows the body to use nitric oxide and the carbon dioxide in the blood to expand the blood vessels, resulting in a 10 to 20% higher oxygen consumption in the blood. More carbon dioxide causes a feeling of suffocation, but also a greater distribution of oxygen in the muscles and brain. Over time, this feeling of suffocation will reduce. 3, enough time to use oxygen. People are shocked when I tell them to hold their breath while swimming. Some people worry that all the oxygen in the lungs will be quickly used and that the air is no longer good. It actually takes longer than you think to use the oxygen in your lungs. Breathing through your nose gives your alveoli time to use up all the oxygen, resulting, again, in a higher oxygenation. 4, cleaner, calmer, and more humid air. At first, breathing through the nose while resting is a bit stressful, but once you get used to it, you will find it more relaxing. Your nose will warm the air before it enters your lungs, and the air will be more humid. This is great for people with asthma, but has benefits for everyone. Breathing through your mouth will dry the airways, dehydrate the body faster, and is bad for dental hygiene. We are made to breathe through our nose. Probably the only 2 reasons we should breathe through our mouth is during swimming and during extreme intense exercise. The third exercise is for those people who constantly wake up at night and have a dry mouth in the morning. A tape over your mouth helps you keep your mouth shut while you sleep. For as long as I can remember, I'd wake up once or twice in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. I would also wake up in the morning with a dry mouth. I thought it was normal. Now I know that this happens when you breathe through your mouth while you sleep. Sleep and breathing experts recommend placing a small piece of tape over the mouth to prevent mouth breathing. There are several options to buy mouth tape, but I found 3M to work just fine. The first time I used this, I slept through the whole night without waking up and without a dry mouth. I couldn't believe it. Breathing through your mouth at any time of the day affects your health and recovery. The clearest result that I can now swim faster without getting as tired was last week. In our swimming camps, we do mini competitions. Usually, when I compete, I end up completely out of breath and breathing through my mouth. After months of doing these exercises, I competed in one of our camps and was able to breathe through my nose just 5 seconds after finishing it. It was also less painful. Both Aaron and Denis were able to do the E25. Swimming has changed their lives. They are so happy with their progress that they want to join the adult master swim team. They asked the coach if they could join. They told her that they can do the E25. She didn't know what they were talking about, but she told them that they had to be able to swim at least 50 meters of each stroke in order to join the team. They have only learned freestyle, so they leave disappointed but with a new goal. If you want to learn to swim backstroke with Aaron and Denis, click on this video. If it's not available yet, click here to subscribe. See you there. Swim fast.